Get to breaking deadline day news, shall we? In the WSL, Anton Tolui is here to tell us all about it. Anton, good to see you. Firstly, some big news. What can you tell us?
Right, we'll start with Arsenal, shall we? We'll start with the deal that has been completed because Leah Velti, one of the longest and sort of most loved Arsenal players, is no longer a gunner. She has joined Juventus on a permanent deal. It means Arsenal obviously lose a wealth of experience from their centre midfield. She, of course, was part of the 2019 team that won the WSL, the last Arsenal team to win the WSL. And, of course, her last competitive Arsenal appearance was the Champions League final win in Lisbon as well. So a big loss for Arsenal. Obviously, we know obviously she's been a huge part of the Arsenal team, what she's done at the club over the last few years as well. Arsenal obviously letting her go back to continental Europe to be closer to her family and obviously start a new chapter in her career. We're getting lots of questions about Arsenal today because they were linked for the replacement for Velti and Geraldine Reuteler, who's the Switzerland midfielder who was so good at the Euros. I'm told they made an inquiry a couple of days ago, but that doesn't seem to be going anywhere today. And obviously we get a lot of questions about Beth Mead. You remember earlier in the window, London City Lionesses had a bid accepted for Beth Mead. She turned that down. That deal is dead in the water. Beth Mead will remain a Gunners player beyond the window, don't worry.
And a potential world record deal close to being agreed. How close is that one?
Right, this is a complicated one. Chelsea want to sign Alyssa Thompson. Now, she is a whirlwind winger, a fantastic player with the US. She made a US debut at the age of just 17. She's now 20 years of age, seen as one of the brightest talents in world football. She wants to make the move to Chelsea. Now, she got on a flight late last night from LA to come over to London to try and finalise the deal. The problem is Chelsea and the NWSL and Angel City, her club, they're all still in discussions about trying to get this deal done. Now, sources are telling me conflicting things. One source is telling me this will be a world record fee. Another one is telling me it won't necessarily be a world record fee, but it will be £1 million plus. Like I said, the player wants to move. Obviously, Chelsea want the move because Lauren James is injured, and they confirmed yesterday the injury to Mayra Ramirez as well. So up front and around the wide areas, they are a little lighter than they want to be going into the new season. That's why their pursuit for Thompson has ramped up in the last few days. Chelsea want to get this deal done. It might go late, though.
And look, we could see, couldn't we, a couple of England's Euro-winning Lionesses swap shirts, Anton, in Manchester. I wonder if we're going to see a sort of Carlos Tevez-style welcome to Manchester banner on a side of a hotel. What's the latest then on Grace Clinton and Jess Park, and how controversial are those moves?
Well, look, we'll start with the moves themselves. It's happening. These things are happening. Today was the medical for Grace Clinton at Manchester City. Contract agreed. It's going to happen. It looks like she's been their biggest target all summer. They wanted to try and get a deal done before the Euros. It all went quiet. Then obviously towards the end of the window, that box-to-box midfielder that Manchester City have wanted all window, that being Grace Clinton, they ramped it up again. And obviously Manchester United said, well, actually, fine, maybe, because she's in the last year of a contract. We don't want to repeat the mistakes of Alessia Russo and Mary Earps and Onebache in the past. There is a fee which we can do business, but we want Jess Park. And now Jess Park has completed her medical, agreed a long-term contract to Manchester United. So it looks as though later today, both of those deals will be confirmed. You say controversial, it's interesting, isn't it? Because in the women's game, we've seen players move between the Manchester clubs in the past. Ella Toone left Manchester City when she was a youngster to go to Manchester United. And you had obviously Alex Greenwood, who's obviously still at Manchester City, has played for all four of the North West clubs. So it's not as controversial. But as the rivalry gets bigger, remember, this is the team that finished third and fourth. They're competing potentially for the last Champions League spot this season. They're doing business. It's an interesting one, but it's interesting, I think, suits both parties. So
from a couple of Serena Wiegmann's Lionesses to the London City Lionesses, they've been busy all summer and could bring in more today, Anton?
They have dominated the market. This is just a list of the players they've signed so far this window. Look at the experience they've brought in. A Euros winner in Nikita Paris, a Champions League winner in Daniela van der Donk, another Champions League winner in Yana Fernandez, and yet the biggest deal of the lot may well happen today because London City Lionesses are in talks with Paris Saint-Germain captain Grace Geyoro, who is at the bottom of the screen there. Now, she is a superstar player in France, arguably the biggest player in France. It will cost a lot of money. She's got 3 years left on her current contract at Paris Saint-Germain, who do not want to sell it. It will be a big money move for London City Lionesses. As we've seen, they're not afraid to splash the cash, but leaving the biggest signing to last is a big move. It's a baller move, isn't it? This late in the window. London City Lionesses trying to prove they are not just here to make up the numbers. They want to make a big push on the WSL this season. Grace Geyoro in talks. She wants to move. Paris Saint-Germain don't want to sell it unless they get big, big money.
Anton, thank you very much.